Okay, I think that's rolling. I'm going to go ahead and show you guys how to redo a housing, and I hope the camera picks this up. I'm going to have to kind of center myself. When you're switching out the flex, let me see here. What you need to do is you've got right up here, you've got a relief point. And in that relief point, you've got to detach. First thing you do is you remove the flex right here, flex ribbon. Then on this side, you have another ribbon. What you can do is you can take a little tool and you can lift these ears up on each side. Don't take it out all the way, just let it kind of stay to the side. Now, for the knobs are going to be a pain. The best thing I do is turn it to 7 o'clock and hope for the best. As you can see, it came off with the insert. If it doesn't come off with the insert, you will need to actually go in and with, I believe with a pick you can probably press the prongs on the insert back enough to where you can lift that off. You won't be reusing that, by the way. This insert, we will see if that's still good. When it comes to this, it can come off in two pieces. It comes off actually in more than that. But let's see what happens. You go from the back, you turn this to the right, and using one of these shop claws that I've got, I just removed the top knob assembly. Now that came off nice. That's not always the case. That can be a real pain. Sometimes just the top of this will come off, and I'll show you right here an example. And when that can come off, it can actually bring this piece off with it. This is the channel knob right here. Now, worst case scenario, you know, you've got to go in with a pair of pliers and pull this off. It's just not really recommended. There's teeth right down here that you can get to it, and you can lift this off, relieve the pressure right here. But if you don't plan on reusing this or reusing the assembly, it's not that bad. If you do make a mistake on this, by the way, this is not a make or break thing. This actually rides down inside. Let me see, this rides down inside. I can't really show you here, but it rides down inside the flex assembly. Maybe when I can get that off I can show you. Let's see. Okay, this is the hard part. So what you need to do is you get a screwdriver up in to this area right here. Take note, there's a tab right here. See if I can't get that closer. There's a tab right here. That is what locks this side in place. On this side, you're going to see another tab. By the way, this is for George and for Felix. There's another tab. You want to go with this side first. You've already got to make sure that this is off. Also, go in very gently, very, very gently. Make sure that this speaker is free. You go in, there's a place where you can go in through the top here. And you slowly work that down. And you start to turn your screwdriver towards you. The way this is, you turn your screwdriver towards you. And that works this down. Now, before you get it going any further, you immediately lift up on this, because this speaker is going to cause pressure. Okay, now this is where you disengage. You disengage both flex assemblies. So now you're dealing with this. With this, you've got to make sure, make sure right here, keep your finger down on this. That light pipe is going to fly off when you remove this. What you need to do, get a small screwdriver and you work this light pipe out this way. You just gently lift up on it. These things are impossible to find if you drop it, because they're clear and all you see is that little white detent. Anyway, okay, so we've got this far out. We're almost home. So then slowly work the housing down. You can put a little bit, just a small amount of pressure here on this, but let me go ahead and see if I can't get it out just straight down. This is the way I usually do it and it works out. So with this, keep maintaining, don't tear the flex, maintain that this comes down, and then you've got freedom here, right in here, to where you've got a little bit of wiggle room, and you gently ease that piece down. At the same time, do not tear the flex on the speaker. This isn't an easy job by any means. Motorola could have made it a lot easier. All you're trying to do is get this stem past. This stem is the only thing that's really holding this on. As such, I'm going to go ahead and just work it down a little bit and see if I can't get it off. It's not easy, but it's doable. Oh, by the way, since I'm right here, do not try and take these things off. These stay on. You don't need to take these off at all. This comes out as one assembly. All I'm trying to do is just free this assembly while not tearing the flex. And it doesn't take much. There we go. It's just downward pressure, but you don't want to bend that stem. Anyway, so you take this out and you've got your assembly. And you've got a housing that looks pretty decent. Then, a good thing to do would be to take this off and clean it. I'm not going to do that because I'm short on time. You're not going to do that. But inspect the flex, make sure everything's intact the way it should be. Then, to put it back in, it's exactly the reversal. The process is just the reverse. I'm just going to go ahead and put it back in. First, you slide the right side. Let me see, is it the left side? I think it's the left side. You go in just the exact same way, I believe. Let me see. We'll find out together. Yeah, you do. You go in with this side, make sure these really won't line up perfectly. But you don't need to worry about that, because they will line up. There, just clicked in. Then you maintain pressure on these pieces here, and you literally slide this down over the prongs. And there's a guide that will get you down here. You'll know it when you feel it, and you'll actually know it when you see it. My eyes aren't the best at this time of night, and I don't have my work light on, which I should have. But there, it just slid in. You secure it to the channel. If I can get that in there all the way. There we go. You secure it in. You take your flex ribbon here on the side, you plug it in. Make sure that that is in, by the way. You plug it in, because this is the push-to-talk flex. fingers aren't wanting to work, and I'm trying to align this with the camera so you can see it. Can you see this? I hope so. You'll feel the click. I'm not feeling it yet. There we go. Okay, it's not lined up right. Okay. Oh, my fingers. Plug in. There we go. Okay, it's in. So, you're still not home. You'll notice that this isn't lined up correctly. It will be in a minute. You work this up. And it may take a little bit of effort in my tool, my driver, to slide up until it locks into place. There, it just locked into place. From there, you examine everything. Everything looks all right. You slide your light pipe in like this. You slide your concentric switch ring over this, and that's gonna, notice the configuration of this. Get these things out of the way. Notice the configuration of this, because you've got to line this up with the detents on each side. Can you see that? You line that up, and you can, the best way to do it is just kind of look at the way the concentric switch would normally ride in there. Make sure this is lined up and lined in. I don't believe I've got it in the channel. If I run out of tape here, at least you know how I got it this far. Okay, it's into place. It's all the way forward. Okay, concentric switch time. Put the concentric switch on, taking note of the two positions. Evidently this was with encryption engaged. Is that what I had it on? Let me see. There we go. This is right. There we go. Seats in. Make sure it's seated in by turning that. If you get a positive turn, you're all right. This slides back on. And if it doesn't slide on tight, you're going to have to replace that insert. This insert comes with a ring. It's a 3-piece. You've got your insert here, you've got your ring, and then you've got your rubber top. Now if that rubber top comes off, like I said, worst case scenario, and very, very ill advised, would be to take a pair of pliers, because you're going to thrash this if you do that. And you can pull this out. By the way, I didn't get around to doing it. When this, if I've only had this happen twice on housings. If this does come out, this does ride in a channel, and there's a lockdown within this flex assembly, and literally this thing will re-engage. So anyway, that's it. I hope that was helpful. I hope you could see it. Let's go ahead and get that. You really need to, when you do this, you also need to take the insert. You're going to have a gasket around here. You need to take that out. And really, I suggest a new insert for this. You line it up, you turn it on. There you go. And no damage done to the inside. You do need to make sure that these pins are engaged, and I think this one still needs to, there. I think it's locked down now. Yeah. But that's it. I hope you were able to see that. I hoped it helped in some way. Like I said, getting back to this, if you need to get that out of there, about the only way to do it is to destroy the insert, if you're going to do it that way. But if you turn it to the 7 o'clock, you can usually get these off with a little bit of wiggling without this stem coming off. That can be an issue. Anyway, I hope everybody's doing well. Felix, I hope that helped you. George, I hope it did too. And thank you for all that you're doing for me, and you've been such good folks and good friends. But yeah, that's it. Anyway, take it easy, guys. I hope that was at least you know, illuminating in some respect. But that's how you get, and this same process works for the XTS3000. That's how you switch these assemblies out. Whatever you do, don't go in here, because I've seen them. I've seen them on housings. People have actually thought, oh, okay, we take this off first. You don't do that. You leave that alone. Under all, you know, no circumstances do you take that off. Don't flip this piece off. Just do it just the way I showed you, and it should work. It's worked every time for me. But like I said, you know, I mean, it's going to happen every now and then. And if this does happen, you slide it in, you find the re-engagement, the seating point to this, and it will lock back into place. That's if everything's Jake on it. But anyway, take care, guys. Later on.